This is Vice Principal Tara Coleman Hunter. She was arrested Thursday. Keep a picture up. A San Antonio vice principal was arrested on Friday after allegedly assaulting a 5-year-old who was, and I quote, misbehaving. The incident at the Amber Creek school leaves the vice principal facing felony charges of injury to a child. Injury to a child. I'm gonna give you some background to this, all right? Let's put a picture back up again, okay? After the child became unruly and struck Hunter, this is according to the official report, remember, 5-year-old child, okay? She pushed the 5-year-old child into a metal cabinet, which left a bump on his head. She then punched the 5-year-old child in the face or head, according to the report. Hunter has now been charged with bodily injury to a child, which amounts to a 3rd-degree felony, and is at the county jail with a $10,000 bond. The mother told authorities the incident happened last Friday, but after several days of feeling like school officials were not being forthcoming with her about the incident, she decided to contact law enforcement. Good for mom. That's exactly right. I send my child to school, my child comes back battered and bruised, and you have no answers for me. We have a problem. We have a problem. So the parent did the right thing here when the school became non-responsive. The Baxter County Sheriff, Javier Salazar, said the mother provided photos of bruises on the boy's body, apparently sustained at the incident at the school. And the sheriff added the boy's recounting of events to investigators remained consistent, while Coleman initially refused to speak without a lawyer present. The sheriff continued to say, and I quote, she then tried to make a counter accusation against the young boy. All right, the teacher tried to make a counter accusation against the 5-year-old. There's no doubt in our mind, he admits that he struck her. The 5-year-old admits, yes, I did hit my teacher. But this is a 5-year-old. Educators, especially school administrators like this, should be more than capable of handling that. As it looks now, this was handled way inappropriately, okay? See, people have bad days, I get it. When you're in the profession of teaching children, a 5-year-old, there's nothing a 5-year-old can do to warrant you striking them, punching them, pushing them into a cabinet. You need to sit your ass down. You are exactly where you should be, madam. You are. And I know people will push back on me on this narrative and say, well, doc, she's a black woman, and why would you talk about a black woman like that? What about this white person? What about that white person? Let me be very clear. If I decided to ignore stories because the black woman or a black man was the perpetrator, what makes me better than the folks I talk against if that was my ideology? Now, damn it, this is wrong, no matter how you chop it up. And she's wrong. Now, this is the one incident we are aware of. We are aware of this one. We don't know if other instances like this have happened before, but I will tell you this, there was a systematic cover up, according to the mother. They tried to cover this up. So I'm an advocate for the child, number one, and I'm an advocate for the family by extension. There's more. The school released a statement and said the IDEA Public Schools is committed to ensuring the safety of our students. We are aware of the allegations made about an Amber Creek employee. This is an active investigation. We cannot comment further. All further questions should be directed to the appropriate law enforcement agency. Very typical, very standard, and very much so BS. All right, let's put up a picture of the acting superintendent of the public school system, Colin Sewell. This is a non-for-profit charter school. It operates in Texas, serving 19,000 students and 36 schools. 85% of those students that he's in charge of are economically disadvantaged. You see, there are some people in all professions who believe that if you are from a particular economic background, they can treat you any way they choose to. Well, that stops here. When it gets my attention, we will do what we can to set the record straight. All right, David, thoughts on this case?
I've got a 5-year-old, and when we send him to preschool every day, and when we send him to kindergarten in the fall, I'm not expecting our children to be angels. And I get that even my kid is gonna cause a headache for a teacher on occasion and may be disruptive, but that's when I expect the teacher to provide learning, to provide guidance, and to work with the parents. And it's controversial as it is. If a parent decides that they want to sort of hold their child to keep them from hurting themselves, that's controversial. But and it might be controversial even if a teacher did that. But there's no way a teacher should be physically pushing a kid. If anything, I'd rather the teacher err on the side of give that kid a hug, hold them tight, and say, "Look, I get you're upset, but we all love you, and it's going to be okay." I mean, that approach is what we need from educators. And this idea that a teacher is in charge of little children and she's violent, I hope she stays in jail.